With Thanksgiving a few weeks away, it's the season for counting our blessings. And here's a story that might make you count yours.
Tonight in the Fox Files, Paul Shankman with that incredible tale of survival about a man, a tree, and what happened when the two became one.
You get one, I'll get the other one. You're good.
There is good luck. There are miracles. And what happened to Jack Weir proves they are not the same thing.
Yum, yum.
Jack and his wife Julie raise alpacas on their farm in Fairview Heights. And it was here on a spring day in 2007 that Jack experienced something astounding.
How far back is it? It's approximately 16 acres from our house.
Jack had been using a bobcat to clear some trees when he hit a large cottonwood that hit back.
It drove right in there, right here, and just drove all the way back.
A broken limb came flying in under the roll bar, spearing Jack through the belly with a piece of wood 20 feet long and 6 inches thick.
I've always had a pretty high tolerance for pain. I had no pain. I had none.
Still, he knew the situation was desperate. And that's when Jack remembered the military mantra he relied on during his 38 years in the Army.
You define the problem, you identify alternatives, you accumulate relevant information, then you make a decision. My problem was I got this tree in me.
But Jack also had another problem. His leg was so swollen he could not get into his pants pocket to reach his cell phone. So, as they say in the Army, he identified an alternative.
When this came in, it ripped his pants. And so he could see the pocket of the jeans because his pants were ripped.
And so with that aerial, I started pushing it to make a hole. Fortunately, after about 5 minutes, I was able to make a hole, pulled the cell phone out, got on the phone, and I'm telling you, by the grace of God, she answered on the first ring.
The challenge for the rescue team was to carefully remove Jack from the bobcat without removing the limb from Jack.
They cut it at about 8 feet with a chainsaw. And they determined they couldn't get an 8-foot tree into the helicopter.
So they cut it to 3 feet and flew him to St. Louis University Hospital.
There were like 20 interns, and they all had their cell phones, and they're all snapping pictures of this. And the one guy gets on the phone, and he says, "You got to come down here. This guy's got a tree in him," and he's still talking.
Actually, when I took it out, he had part of his pants still attached to the log.
Dr. Carl Freeman, also a military man with experience as a battlefield surgeon, led the team of doctors who took the tree limb out of Jack. The first step, determine which organs had been damaged. The jaw-dropping answer, none.
It literally just slid along them, went right next to it and slid along them and pushed them out of the way.
The doctor came out and she said, "We removed the tree." We don't hear this every day. And then she said, "And it missed every major organ." And she chuckled. And our oldest son said, "Doctor, what do you call that?"
And she said, "A miracle."
The limb missed Jack's spine by 5/16 of an inch, about the thickness of a pencil.
Prayer helps. Prayer makes a difference.
Jack has always believed in miracles. And he also believes this statue of the Virgin Mary, a family heirloom which happens to sit just a few feet from the scene of the accident, had something to do with his survival.
There had to have been some intervention there, because I should, and for all intents and purposes, have been dead.
This is not the first time the Weirs feel their prayers have led to a miracle. In 1983, Julie was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease and told she had 6 months to live. But the cancer went into remission.
When you have a terrible experience, something very tragic, horrible that happens in your life, it is there to prepare you for the next horrible, tragic thing that is going to happen in your life, because it's not a if, it's a when.
6 kids, 6 months to live.
You might think people who have been through what they have been through would want to distance themselves from that awful day. But the Weirs choose to embrace it. Their son Dominic wrote a song about his family's miracles.
An old tree nearly took his life. He was gone, almost saw the light.
Speaking of seeing the light, on Jack's desk there now sits a lamp his son-in-law had made from pieces of the tree that almost killed Jack.
Can I touch you?
At the St. Louis Zoo, you'll find 2 of the Weir's alpacas on loan, named for the surgeons who saved Jack's life. That's Doc Andrus. This is Doc Freeman. The keepsake that means the most, however, is the simplest of them all. A large section of the limb left behind from the rescue. They keep it on their patio, a weathering reminder of how both luck and miracles saved a branch on the Weir family tree. For the Fox Files, I'm Paul Shankman.
Well, if Julie Weir's story sounds familiar to you, you may remember her from another story. In 1985, Julie won a contest at St. Louis Center to have her likeness cast in bronze to represent the typical St. Louisan. It was ironic then, and it's ironic again.
That is just an amazing story.
That is. I love the lamp, too.
Yeah.
All the reminders.
Oh, my goodness.